Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and I know y'all been waiting for this Cam character guide, so here it is. I just got back from another little vacation, so I'm going to try to crank out all these character guides. I'm going to try to do the 6-man quest for you all and show you a really great way to beat it pretty easily. I think I did it in like 14 turns or something. So anyways, in this guide, we are going to talk about Cam's artifacts, his spheres, and then we're going to talk about his kit and how to play him. The big thing that I know you all are going to want to wonder is, why is Cam so broken? Why do people keep talking about him? So in this video, I'm going to demo the combo, just so you guys understand how to utilize Cam if you want to abuse that combo, right? Now, I will talk about force enhancements really quick. Cam's force enhancements are actually like very standard. He's not a force charging character, so he's going to get all the normal buffs. So you take him at minimum to 23 if you want the just standard force charging buffs. You take him all the way to 30 if you want all of his attacks to be buffed and equipped. Honestly, if you're getting Cam for the meta, you might as well just full invest and go to town. Now, the thing with Cam is you can get away with using a maxed out friend unit Cam. So if you're noticing a lot of friend Cams on your friend list, you might not have to get them at all if you don't want to. So in this video, I'll show you guys how to do that combo, and you'll decide if you want to do it with a friend Cam or if you want to do it with your own. So let's go ahead and start with his artifacts here. Artifacts are pretty basic and simple, like most characters. It's basically his C50 and attack 108 is pretty much the main one you want to go to. Attack 108 and then max brave and attack up. Attack and max brave is also a decent substitute. Max brave on Cam, he does have some effects that scale on he has like a buff that, like, based on his max brave, he'll get more battery. So there's definitely use for max brave in his kit. So just some combination of attack, max brave, and his C50 is what you want to go with there. And then for spheres. So the A slot, he's kind of that typical brave damage and attack. You could go max brave if you want to help that buff a little bit. I really like Jack Call here, just to get the attack and max brave up on him to kind of utilize both of those effects at the same time. But once again, there is a wide array of A slots you could use on him. He does do weakness damage. He has an Ice Enchant and Parallel. So you could do a weakness damage sphere, so Rydia could work here as well. Another option you could do with Cam is he doesn't actually like have any launch in his kit. But when you are utilizing his combo, if that's the main way you're going to use him, you do it with launching. So you're going to either give him like a Sid Reigns call, or you're going to have Selfie on the team that's going to enable launching. So typically when you're using Cam, if you're actually like abusing him the way that people want to abuse him, he's actually going to be launching. So you could give him like a Kais Sphere if you really wanted to. And Kais is like a pretty fat attack buff on launching. So if you know that you're going to play Cam basically for the meta, and you're going to be launching all the time, go ahead and put a launch sphere on him. You totally could do that, right? On the E slot, basically you want to go with attack up. So something like Emperor or Yuffie would be really good for just getting attack up. He does do debuffs every so often. So that's something to think about there. And then I also had put his own on him back when I originally got him. It just inflicts an attack down on the enemy. That honestly isn't like the craziest one to put on. Typically, if you're doing the Cam combo, like, the enemies actually don't get to attack much anyways. So you're better off just doing like 2 attack spheres. I just have that full sphere on there without a way to remove it, so I'm just going to leave it on there. All right, so with that, let's hop in, and I'm just going to demo this on the first Shinryu. Now, basically, the setup, there's kind of like a setup to do this. I'm going to do a different setup slightly on the 6-man because you have like more options to do there. But essentially what you want to do to get Cam's combo, you need to ensure that you have a way to launch. Having Cam, by the way, full invested with a green BT makes this a lot easier. You can do it without a green BT, but it's just a little bit trickier, and you'll find out why in a minute. You want to bring some type of off-turn damage dealer to help, so either Kane or Cissnei. I'm going to bring Cissnei, because I think in the end her damage is actually a little bit better than Kane's. And then I'm bringing Penelo for a force charger. Now, you don't have to do it with force charging. Like, you can take the fight kind of slow and then set it up if you want to run something else. But I like to speed into these things. I like to rush in and kind of get it going. So, and then also bringing Pandemonium Summon is a pretty good idea, because the focus is you're going to be doing a lot of launch damage. So we'll talk about that. So I'm going to go ahead and hop in here. We'll talk about Cam as we're kind of demoing. What I'll probably do is I think I'm going to take it slow at first, and I'm going to basically like explain Cam's kit, and then we'll just do the combo. Is there a friend unit I care to bring in? I don't think so. I mean, selfie friend can be really... I'll bring a selfie friend just in case of an emergency that I need to do something. I have selfie call too, but yeah, we'll bring a selfie friend just in case like I somehow mess up my combo and I need to bring in like a launch character. But I think we'll be fine here. So we'll go ahead and get the fight started here. Now, basically, he's got a lot going on. The one thing I'm going to say right away is that Cam's got like his entire kit gets buffed with one of his buffs. Hold on, let me just go ahead and sure, we'll start with the LD here with Cisne. I'm not ready to like go off yet, but we'll just throw it on. That's fine. Okay. So one thing you guys need to look out for. So see how it says Frostblade for his 15 CP attack. If that ever says Frostblade, that means he doesn't like have his like full buffs up. So you always want that to say Glassification, okay? So if it doesn't say Glassification, you want to upgrade that. So the LD is the easiest way to do that. So you typically want to open up with the LD right away. So we're going to open up with that. And then that's going to give him like Glassification or Glassification Plus. Okay? Basically the way it works is Glassification is an ice attack. It has a 60% chance to paralyze. However, if it's on Glassification Plus, it has a 100% chance to paralyze. So that's pretty good, right? So the idea with his combo is you have to be launching like paralyzed enemies essentially. So you can do it with Glassification or with other paralyzed characters, but his BT is going to make it a lot easier. And we'll talk about that. I'm just going to do a little bit of charging, but I'm not going to go all the way here with Penelo. And what I could do is I could bring in Selfie at the end. Let's just get a few attacks off here, get the gauge up a little bit to kind of get things rolling, okay? So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do his 35 CP next. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll just attack through here. All right, so now we've got Cam back up again, okay? So Cam, if we look at his skills now, he's actually got Glassification Plus. So after his LD, he gets a free skill use, and you like always want to use on Glassification Plus because it's a free skill use and it's going to 100% paralyze. So we'll go ahead and we'll attack enemy A here with Glassification Plus. Once again, this is an ice damage attack, and you see it put like a straight up normal paralyze on, okay? And so now both the enemies are paralyzed. They're just going to lose their turns. So once again, as long as you time it right, like you don't have to have the green BT. It just makes it easier. We'll talk about what the green BT does here in a second. Here, I'm not ready to go into combo yet, so let's do some regular attacks here with Cisne. And I don't want a full charge yet. I just want to... I'll do one more turn with Cam, and then the next time Penelo comes up, we'll kind of do the full charge and go crazy. So we'll just go ahead and attack through here. Okay. So now, Cam's got normal Glassification. So that's fine. It means like he's got his buffs on. He's going to be looking good. Once again, if you see that fall off, then you need to refresh that buff with the LD. Esoteric Region is his 35. And what this is going to do, it's going to be an ice attack. But the big thing is it's going to upgrade Glassification to Glassification Plus. So let's go ahead and press that button. And we're going to let that go through. Okay, yep, and that's going to go through. And then now when Cam gets his next turn, it's going to say Glassification Plus. Now what I might do... Oh, Cisne is going to get a couple turns here, so I'll just do a regular... Well, we'll do LD, that's fine. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do the LD, because she's got plenty of uses. So we'll just throw it on, but I think Cisne is going to get another turn before I go full combo here. Okay. Yep, we'll let that go through. Alright, so Penelo, I mean, we've almost got him full charged anyway, so I might as well just charge it up here with Penelo. And then what I might do is I might just bring in the Selfie friend, to be honest. Yep, we'll do that. We'll just keep going. Okay, and we'll end with an intercession here. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, also keep in mind his 15 and 35. He's getting some generic buffs from them. Esoteric Region in the LD like actually upgrades one of his buffs to a better version of the buff. So he's got a buff called Esoteric Region, which basically does all enemies like attack and magic attack down. He has an addle debuff on the enemies, which just lowers their attack and magic attack again. But then it upgrades his abilities if he has the Desire of Providence. So that's the main thing that you want to keep on. If Cam gets broken, it'll actually like dispel it. So you really don't want Cam to get broken. So the other thing about that esoteric region that I told you about, he gets brave refunds when he attacks. So if Cam's at low brave and he's being targeted, you want to use esoteric region to give him a bunch of brave to make sure that he doesn't get broken. So really don't let Cam get broken. Otherwise you're going to have to refresh that buff, right? Okay, so where are we at here? So let's go, oh sure, let's put some more debuffs on. Get some ice damage here. Kurosame is a very good call to bring as well, just because of the ice damage you're getting from it. So what Cam's FR does is it goes up 20% if you're attacking with ice, and then 20% up if you're attacking an enemy with a debuff that disables their action. So that could be paralyzed, or Cam has another special debuff we're going to talk about. If you had like Shantado's debuff, that would work as well, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do here, yeah, we'll go ahead and charge one more. All right, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to bring in the selfie friend. So the selfie is really important because you can basically use the LD here. And what the LD is going to do is the LD is going to basically give the enemies a debuff that makes them launchable. So it's really, really good. And it makes you do more damage during launching, which also our Pandemonium summon is going to do that as well. So now these enemies, basically until their debuff runs out, they're basically just going to be launchable. So that's really, really good, right? So now with Cam, I haven't talked about the EX yet. I'll talk about it really quick, but I'll use it during the burst phase. Well, I've got to get another turn. Yeah, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to set this up really, really nice. But Cam's EX really quick. The big thing with Great Wheel Plus, the EX, is that it does a one-turn enemy delay. And then it also gives the Enchant Imperil for Ice. So he self-enchants himself for Ice. And then he also imperils the enemies to Ice, which is really, really good. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and go into Force Time. And I'm going to explain how this combo works. Or no, we can't go into Force Time yet. Hold up. Before we go in the Force Time, we have to use the Burst Attack. So I'm a few moves away here. So let's go ahead and use the Burst Attack. So basically what Cam's Burst Effect does is while his Burst Effect is up, anytime any of your allies attacks an enemy, they get a special debuff. It's like a debuff trap. It's not called paralyzed, but basically it makes the enemies unable to act, which helps. So what this does now, and this is why the green BT is nice, you don't have to be as finicky about the setup, because if you don't do it with this, you have to make sure you time it just right. But with this, every time you attack the enemies, they're getting like that debuff on, so they're always going to have it. Even if I go into like the burst phase and the enemies don't have the debuff, Cam's first attack will debuff them and then they'll be good, right? Okay, so now what we need to do is Cam's going to need to use the FR, and then he's going to need another turn yet. So I'll use Cissnae's LD, but I think Cissnae is going to get another turn, so I might have to LD again. But you want to make sure Cissnae is fresh off her LD use to make sure that she's getting the max attack on her stuff, right? Okay, so we're going to do all this. Now, just so you know, I'm just doing this for demonstration. I don't think I'm going to meet the HP requirement on this particular quest, because Cam's Force will not stop the enemy's Force gauge, and they're going to be poisoning me like crazy, but I'm not worried about that. I just want to demo it all, right? Okay, so now that I've got the burst effect up, and it's a 6-turn burst effect, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the Force Time. So yes, let's go ahead and use the Force Time. And then I also have Rain's Call on him, so you don't have to do Selfie. You can do it with just the Rain's Call as well. I'll probably use the Rain's Call anyways, because I think the Rain's Call also like helps you do more damage during launch. So if you like stack the Selfie and the Sid Rains at the same time, I think you're going to do more damage. So, okay, so we've got Selfie up again. So Selfie will probably just reapply the Rapture, that's fine. Well, we could use Wall, actually. Wall's got some, let's do Wall. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and use Rapture again. So we'll use Rapture again. These enemies are just going to be launchable for days. And then basically what we're going to do is Cissnae's going to use her LD. And then see on the launch there, we got 60%. So the reason why this is busted, okay? The reason why this is busted is because you're only supposed to get 20% for attacking an enemy with that debuff on. But they didn't intend this, but during the launch, you get a credit for each one. So you're getting 60, and then when you're doing it with Cam, you're getting 80 because he's also doing ice attacks, right? So let's go ahead and we'll just reapply the LD here. Okay, and you'll see now we're launching and doing crazy damage. And then watch the HP damage buffer go up. So yeah, 60% there. So it's going up. So the reason why, so you might be looking at and saying, well, cryo buffs at like 73%, right? But the thing is you're doing launch damage with multiple enemies at the same time. So you're doing way more damage. All right, so let's hit up the burst phase here. So I could use Rain's Call, but I won't. I don't want to waste a turn of my force time. So we're just going to get into the burst phase right away. Okay. So now within here, you can kind of go with whatever you want, but I usually wait till I have a free turn before I use like Glassification or Esoteric Regen, so because you want to keep those skill uses up. But we'll go ahead and use the EX so you guys can see that. So let's do the EX here, because that's going to give him the enchant and make sure that he's always doing ice damage so that we get more damage on this. Ideally, if you want to take a slower setup, you would have the EX hit beforehand so that he has that. But right there, 83%. So this, now we're going to town, because look at these follow-ups. They're going to be doing so much damage. And we're launching and getting all the launch damage. And we're getting, so it's going to be darn near like 800% by the time we're done with it. And the damage is absolutely crazy. So now let's go ahead and sure, let's pop the LD here. Okay, and now we're launching. And we're doing, like, that was 400k on a tap. We'll be doing like 1 mil on the taps. It'll be crazy. So there was like just so much damage. And then we're getting that 80% every single time. And it's just crazy. So these guys are just going to start to melt away very quickly here with this combo. Sure, we got the free attack here. Let's do Glassification Plus. You can see our health isn't looking good because I chose this particular fight. But I just wanted to choose something where I knew I could get off. So don't worry about our health. 88% on that one. Okay. It's Cisne's almost up to a mil AoE. We're at a 500% multiplier. We still have 4 turns left, and we're doing all this damage while launching, right? So now let's go ahead and let's pop another force attack here. Be doing a lot of damage. Here's the thing that's crazy, is we're going to end this burst with the burst attack. And the burst attack is going to do so much insane damage. It is crazy. Okay. Then that. Yeah, so there was like a 5 mil launch, 80% added on. There's 1 mil AoEs now coming from Cisne, right? So you just pile on so much damage in these last few turns of the force time. So sure, let's go ahead and do Esoteric Regen, because then we'll get Glassification Plus. Keep launching away. Yep. 6 mil on the launch, adding on. Cisne doing a lot of damage. Now, by the way, I'm going to be doing more damage in my 6-man fight, so if you want to see this like taken a step further, because the 6-man you get more characters to use, I'm going to do even more damage in the 6-man fight. So be sure to check out that video. I'm going to try to get that one out today as well. I think those are the 2 that I'm going to rush out, and then my character guides I'm going to kind of spread out for the other characters. So yeah, 756. Okay, and we're doing over a mil AoE with just Cisne's follow-ups here. So absolutely crazy. And then last attack here. Here comes the burst attack. This is going to do an insane amount of damage. Basically, during the 6-man, I do the same setup, but I have like Garnet in the fray. So we're getting all the HP boost up and then her follow-ups. So yeah, there was like a 56 mil burst phase. Now that was like very minimal. I'm just going to say that right now. There are people, well, there we got 1.6 mil follow-up. We're at about 800%. But that's about it. And you can see we just melted these enemies almost all the way to dead, right? So there are people, if you really optimize this, you can get this up to like 120, 130 mil burst phase. Really, really insane. I think in my 6-man, I should be doing one that's at least 100 mil burst phase. But that's basically it. That's how I use Cam. So just to recap it, make sure the enemies have a paralyzed type debuff on. Make sure that you have launching during a burst phase. Typically, you'd want to do Cam as the burst phase because he's doing ice damage, or you want to use another attacking character that is ice enchanted to get the most out of it. And that's basically it. You just go to town. Very, very cool character. So anyways, guys, there you go. There's Cam's guide. If you have any questions, let me know. I have a Discord as well. You can join it. It is in the description. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all on the next one.